Welcome to the new season of the Water Polo Champions League. Jadran and Radnice were battling it out until the last seconds. Oradea celebrated an away win in Magdeburg against Hanover. And Primorac was very close to surprising Olympiakos in Piraeus. It's the first round of the new season of the Champions League. 4 groups of 4 teams, each hunting for one of the first 2 spots that are taking them to the quarter-final stage. This is what happened in the last 2 days. A new season, a new chapter, and almost a new team. Quite a few departures from Novi Beograd, as the youngsters are now the ones who will give the new strength to the defending Serbian champions. A mix of youth and experience will try and replicate last season's performances, especially in the Champions League. First up, Steaua Bucuresti, a well-known opponent, as these 2 sides cross paths in the last season's group phase as well. Steaua couldn't have hoped for a better start to the game, as they found the back of the net 3 times in a row. First, it was Sylvian Kolodrovski with a strong shot to start things off in the first attempt of the game overall. Then it was Nebojša Vučković from the counter-attack, and Tudor Andrei Folea with another fine shot from the outside. Almost 5.5 minutes went by before Dimitrios Skumpakis beat Marius Tik to reduce the deficit and to open his goal-scoring account of the European season. The first penalty shot of the game, courteous of Nikola Lukic, who sent the ball to the left side of the goal from his first shot of the game. Before the final whistle of the first quarter, it was Skumpakis with his second goal of the game to ensure Novi Beograd got up to speed. Goal after goal for the most part of the game, with problems for both teams when it comes to shot efficiency. For Novi Beograd, it was a problem that had a name, and it was the opponent's goalkeeper Marius Tik. Only a goal for each side in the second quarter, doubled the amount in the third, but it's the last 8 minutes that were the turning point. Đorđe Vucinic was one of the key factors with the extra player advantage converted from the left post. And then with this beauty, one of the best goals of the game. Both balls were sent by the other piece of the attacking puzzle, the Greek national team member Skumpakis, who shared the top scorer of the match title with Vucinic. Both of them found the back of the net 4 times. The only answer for the Romanian club came from Kolodrovski, but the goal-scoring rhapsody of the host was unstoppable, even though Marius Tik finished the match with 14 saves. In Group A, German champion Waspo Hanover welcomed Romanian runner-up Oradea. Visitors started the match brilliantly, with 3 consecutive goals already in the middle first quarter. They gained a significant advantage when Gusarov scored from a counter-attack. At one point it was even 5-1, when Gardashevich was a scorer, also from a counter-attack. Oradea kept that advantage until half-time, thanks to Belenyezi's goal 30 seconds before the end. However, in the third quarter, that advantage began to melt, and in the first 2.5 minutes, Hanover came close to just a goal behind, thanks to Bua's precise shot with an extra player. But by the end of that period of the game, in which 9 goals were scored, the guests managed to break away again, and with a goal from Negreu with an extra player 4 seconds before the end, they entered the last quarter with a 3-goal advantage. That last quarter was much poorer in terms of goals. The Germans scored the only 2, the last through Streletsky 20 seconds before the end, but it was too little. Oradea returned home with the 3 valuable points. Gusarov was the most effective in the winning team with 3 goals, and Buha scored the same number on the other side. In the second round on the 15th of October, Hanover plays against the Romanian team, this time visiting Steaua, whilst Oradea welcomes Novi Beograd. The current European champions, Fenves, hosted the Georgian champions, Dinamo Tbilisi. The guests held on well in the first quarter and were even in the lead when Andashvili scored after 4 minutes with an extra player to make it 3-2. However, in the second part of the game, as expected, the Hungarians managed to break away. In the 12th minute, their huge series started. Then the best individual of the match, Agriopoulos, scored a goal with an extra player for 7-5. And from that moment, the hosts made a series of even 9-0. A little less than 4 minutes before the end, Mandic scored for +10. In that period, Dinamo was without a goal for almost 17 minutes. The crisis was only interrupted by a nice goal by Tankosic a little more than 3 minutes before the end. It ended 16-7, so the current champions of Europe started defending the title very convincingly. The most efficient player of the match was Agriopoulos with 5 goals, and at Dinamo, interestingly, no one scored more than 1 goal. In the second round on the 15th of October, Ferencváros will face a much tougher test away to Radnice, while Dinamo welcomes Jadran from Split in Tbilisi. The new season of the Water Polo Champions League already gave us one of the cliffhangers of the season. Jadran and Radnice battled it out in the Polyod pool until the last seconds of the match and more. But let's start from the beginning. Two teams that went through great changes met and split in Group B. Jadran lost 7 players from last season, most of them ending up in Mladost Zagreb, but Yuri Morelia on the Jadran bench also had some new faces, among them one of the best, if not the best goalkeeper in the world, Marko Biac. Radnice, on the other hand, is much stronger than before. 8 new players, and among them 5 have won Olympic gold medals in Paris. On the start of the match, it was the guy with the silver from Paris that was shining. Radnice could not find a way to score past Biac, who locked the Jadran goal for the first 14 minutes of the match. The hosts used that period to build up a 3-0 lead. It was 4-1 with 1 minute and 15 seconds to go in the second quarter. Radnice didn't end up in the Champions League by chance, and they proved it. In 61 seconds, they scored 2 goals to come back. First Vikovic and then Jasic, 2 seconds before the end of the second quarter for 4-3. The third quarter started to slow, the first goal coming after 3 minutes. The first of the match for Fatovic, Jadran leads 5-3. Radnice proved in qualification they can come back from anything. 2 goals in 25 seconds from Murasic and Vikovic from a penalty, and it's already 5-5. With 4 minutes to go, Jadran is left without Butic, who receives a red card for a foul on Jasic. Radnice doesn't score from an extra player. Fatovic punishes them on the other side. It's 6-5. The end of the third quarter is near, but Fatovic is not done. 3 seconds to go, he draws a foul from which comes another great shot that's too difficult for Filipovic. With 8 minutes to go, Jadran has a 2-goal advantage. And what a great 8 minutes it was. After Benicevic scored for 9-6, 6 minutes before the end, it seemed that Jadran is close to the victory. Radnice had other ideas with 3 consecutive extra player goals. It was 9-9, 2.5 minutes before the end. And they were not done yet. With 28 seconds to go, Pejkovic is penalised for a foul and Radnice is a man up, which they use. Only 11 seconds to go and a measured strike from Vasic. Jadran didn't give up. Everybody went to the attack, including Biac. In the end, the ball ended in the hands of Fatovic. The best scorer of the evening did not disappoint. Another great strike for 10-10, 3.2 seconds before the final whistle. This, of course, meant penalties where everybody was calm and precise until the third round, where Vatic was stopped by Jadran's second goalkeeper, Martin Seller. The home team converted all 5 of their penalties to secure the second point. It was a great game with several players in excellent condition and mood. Vatovic scored 5 goals, Biac had 13 saves, Filipovic on the other side 12. The best scorers for the visitors was Vikovic with 3 goals. Barcelona got real close to the final 4 of the EA Champions League last season. This one, not only richer with the previously mentioned experience, but also with some familiar reinforcements. The goal is clear, be among the passengers travelling to Malta in June. The first task, the Hungarian side, Vasas. It was a bold start from the host. Álvaro Granados, the returnee, scored a fabulous first goal of the game after only 19 seconds. And look at that ball from Unai Biel. Last season's top scorer, then with Novi Beograd's cap, is the one all of the team should especially look out for. Bogdan Đurić used his opportunity from the middle of the 6-metre line, but that was about all the guest side could do. Roger Taul, Alberto Munarriz and Granados, with 2 more shots converted, made sure that the match went in the desired direction from the first 8 minutes. 5-1 heading into the second quarter, and Barceloneta didn't take the foot off the gas pedal. 2 goals from Vince Vigvari, another reinforcement for the home side, scored a brace in this quarter, as well as Biel for 9-1. The Hungarian side was goalless for 14 minutes. Before this, Mate Dollar's shot with 33 seconds to go before the half-time. The difference kept on growing and growing, with 6 more goals for the Spanish club and 2 more for the Hungarian one. From the centre position, left side, 5-metre line, we've truly seen it all for the Barcelonetas attacking Arsenal. 5-14 was more than a comfortable advantage for the home side, and quite a testament when it comes to the difference between these 2 teams, quality-wise. The last quarter produces 6 more precise shots combined, then being equally divided with 3 on each side. Benedict Baptiste was left all alone on the left post and used his opportunity to put the ball in the back of John Porter's net. Taul answered with yet another 2-metre line goal, his 4th of the game, equalling the tally of Granados, as the latter 2 were the top scorers of the night. Đurić, Mark Valls, Soma Lakatos and Bustos all found their way to outwit the opponent's goalkeeper before it was game over in Barcelona. The final result, Barceloneta 18, Vasas 7. The biggest goal difference on Matchday 1. Barceloneta Vasas 18-7. Group C has 3 clubs determined to pass to the quarter-final stage, and 2 of them were meeting in Marseille. Marseille has brought Marc Larumbe from Barceloneta, but are mainly relying on their French star Thomas Verneau. Jadran needed to go through the qualifications to play in the Champions League, but have a strong team with Alexander Ivovic leading the line. The first quarter was even, played goal for goal, and after Vucerovic used an extra player with 25 seconds to go to give Jadran the lead, Verneau responded with a goal of his own for 4-4 after the first quarter. The second quarter gave us a lot of goals, but also a lot of fighting. With 3 minutes and 41 seconds to go, Spajic scored for 7-5, but after that hits Milojevic and is immediately expelled. Milojevic also didn't return to the match and will miss a large part of the group stage. His jaw is broken, as are 3 teeth. The rest of the match was pretty similar. Marseille was leading, Jadran was chasing. Georgia Lazic brought them to 9-8 midway through the third quarter, and after Larumbe scored for 10-8, it was Leka Ivovic who took the ball for a nice shot from the outside position to bring Jadran to a goal deficit. Marseille stars then took over. First Bodegas for 11-9 after a nice combination from right to left and back on the second post. Vernu then slips away for centre position, and now it's 12-9 with 5 minutes to go. After Vernu scored for 13-11, all the Jadran could do is try and reduce the deficit, and they did with 14 seconds to go with Jovan Vojovic. Marseille proved once again that they are a difficult team to beat in their pool. Olympiacos, one of the contenders for the title and the only Greek side in this season's Creme de la Creme water polo competition, hosted one of the Montenegrin clubs, Primorac from Kotor. 2 defending champions with refreshed squads for the new season, but the home one with a serious handicap. Gergu Zelanki is still serving the suspension from last season's final match of the Champions League and was out of the picture for the first European test. It was a high-scoring goal affair from the start. The guests took the early lead through Nika Shushiashvili's extra player attack goal, something the guest side would excel in throughout the whole match. Konstantinos Genadias hit back with his powerful shot with a numerical advantage for the white and red caps. The Greek national team player continued where he left off last season, as he was one of the competition's top scorers. Petar Cechkovic, Marko Mrsic, Kakaris one more time, and another Cechkovic. The centre-forward Savo continued the goal-scoring streak to make it 4-3 for the guests. Both of the sides were on target one after another before a mini-series for the guests. 3 consecutive goals from Dusan Matkovic, Nikola Burkic and the Georgian national team member Shushiashvili provided the biggest advantage of the game for the Montenegrin champion. +2, or to put it in more details, 7-5. With 2 minutes and 12 seconds on the clock, the Greek side started their turnover path. Genadinias, no surprise there, Ioannis Funtalis and Dimitrios Dimou fired back with their 3-goal mini-series right after. And after the first half, it was 8-7 for the home team. See the pattern? Well, it was interrupted as we went goalless for more than 5 minutes. In the meantime, a 3rd personal foul for Petar Cechkovic and Luka Mrsic meant they got the bystander status for the rest of the match. The numerical advantage that followed was used by Alexandros Papinastasiou. He outsmarted one of the Montenegrin club's newcomers, the goalkeeper Francesco Massaro, from the post to score the first goal of the 3rd period. Georgia Stanijevic answered with yet another power play attack to cut the deficit to just 1 goal of a difference from the right wing. An extremely goal-scoring minded Papinastasiou followed up with a fantastic diagonal action shot to make it 10-8. Konstantinos Gouvis was the first Olympiacos player who got the 3rd personal foul, and the penalty shot was converted. The 3rd one of the game, first ones for the guests, and the goal, courtesy of Stanijevic, who yet again reduces the opponent's advantage. Heading into the last 8 minutes, 10-9 quickly turned to 10-10 as Shushiashvili and Savo Cechkovic produced this moment of great play. The following minutes offered 3 more goals and yet another 3rd personal foul. Olympiacos was deprived of Papinastasio's service for the rest of the match, also being a goal down. But thanks to Dimu and his precision from the left side, as well as a little bit of luck with the inside of the post, the Greek side took the game into the uncertain waters for a few more minutes. They even had a chance to get the 3 points with the extra player attack in the last 60 seconds of the game, but failed to do so. So far, all of the penalty shots were converted, and it continued with the same rhythm in the first round of the penalty shootout. Fenves and Massaro couldn't stop the opponents from scoring. Neither could Panagiotis Tzotzatos and Dragojobs Chechkovic, so the goal frame had to do its job. At least when it comes to stopping Genadinias in round 2. You don't see this quite often when it comes to his goal-scoring prowess. Shashashvili had a chance to put the game to bed, but his shot was saved. It was game on once more. 2 more occasions from the 5-metre line meant 2 more goals, 19-19. Kakaris with goal number 20 for Olympiakos, and Zerves who got back between the posts with a crucial save of the game, preventing Stanijevic's goal getting that extra point for the Greek side. What a thriller. In the first game of the Group D round, the winners of the Italian Cup, Savona, welcomed the Spanish Sabadell. It was a very even match. The guests opened it better and escaped to a 2-goal advantage for the first time with a goal of Averka, with an extra player 2.5 minutes before the end of the first quarter. However, the hosts came back quickly, and with a goal from Erdely at the beginning of the second period of the game, they equalised. In fact, they managed to take the lead for the first time through the same player, with an extra player at the beginning of the third quarter. But after that, Sabadell made a series of 3 goals in a row. It was opened by Perez Rodriguez 5 minutes and 40 seconds before the end of that part of the game, and closed by the same player, again with a player advantage, a little less than 3 minutes before the end. The guests entered the last quarter with a 2-goal lead. Halfway through that part of the game, they escaped to 3 goals advantage for the first time, thanks to a goal by Valera Calatrava. However, Savona came back with 2 consecutive goals, first by Filioli from a counter-attack, and then by Rizzo with an extra player, returning the game to uncertainty. Probably the decisive moment of the match happened a little more than a minute before the end, when the night's excellent Perez Rodriguez restored the visitors' 2-goal lead. It was the moment that sealed this game, and the final result was 12-10. Perez Rodriguez, Barroso and Bowen led Sabadell to victory with 3 goals, and Filioli had the same effect at Savona. In the second round on the 16th of October, Savona is visiting Kotor and plays against Primorac, while Sabadell will have a tough job against Olympiakos. These are the results of the first round of the Champions League. Novi Beograd, Steaua 11-7. Hanover, Oradea 10-11. Ferencvaros Dinamo Tbilisi 16-7. Jadran Split Radnice 15-13 after penalties. It was 10-10 after 4 quarters. Barcelona Vasas 18-7. Marseille Jadran Herceg Novi 13-11. Olympiakos Primorac Kotor 2019 after penalties. Savona Sabadell 10-12. The next round comes quickly, and there's not a lot of time to prepare. Radnice welcomes Ferencvaros. In Group C, Jadran will play against Barcelona, and Primorac is chasing a first victory in the Champions League against Savona. We'll see you next Thursday.